Margaret was making tea when it happened. Her legs buckled beneath her. No warning, no pain, just nothing. She hit the kitchen floor before she could even cry out. For millions of seniors, this isn't rare. It's terrifyingly common. Weak legs, sudden collapses, a quiet decline that steals your freedom inch by inch. But what if I told you there's a way to fight back? Today I'm revealing the 7 deadly mistakes that destroy your leg strength after 60 and what to do instead. These aren't just tips, they're lifelines. And you'll want to hear number 1, because it's the one mistake almost everyone is still making. If this topic hits home, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And I'm asking everyone watching, comment, "I'm still standing," if you believe it's never too late to take your strength back. Your words might inspire someone else today. Harold never thought twice about it. One morning, while brushing his teeth, he felt a strange shift in his knees. Just a little wobble, barely noticeable. He adjusted his stance, laughed it off, and kept brushing. But 2 weeks later, it happened again. This time while stepping into the shower. Then again while reaching for a glass from the cabinet. There was no pain, no dramatic moment. Just an odd sense that his legs weren't as reliable as they used to be. He told himself it was nothing. By the 3rd month, Harold had stopped walking to the mailbox. By the 6th, he was using a cane. What Harold didn't know was this. That first little wobble, that was the warning sign. The very first crack in the foundation. And like so many people in their 60s and 70s, he ignored it. You see, we don't lose strength all at once. It doesn't come crashing down like a tree in a storm. It fades like a whisper, quiet, slow, almost invisible. Until one day your legs don't catch you the way they used to. That small sway while brushing your teeth. Grabbing the back of a chair for just a little support. Feeling unsure while walking across a room. Those are not harmless quirks. They are red flags. Your body is whispering that something is changing. As we age, the system that helps us stay balanced begins to weaken. Our muscles lose their power, our joints become less sensitive, and the nerve signals between brain and body start to lag. What used to be a strong, stable step becomes something less certain. And when you combine that with sitting too long, not moving enough, or missing key nutrients like vitamin D, that little wobble turns into a serious fall. But here's the good news. If you catch it early, you can fight it. You can rebuild the strength before it's gone. You can retrain your body to trust itself again. And it starts small. Each morning, walk in a straight line, heel to toe, like you're balancing on a rope. Do it for 20 steps. Then while brushing your teeth, stand on one leg. Then switch sides. Just a few seconds at a time. And if you're up for it, walk barefoot for 5 minutes on a safe, clean surface to wake up the small muscles in your feet. It may seem simple, even silly, but those tiny actions send a powerful message to your brain. We're not giving up. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that wobble, even once? Maybe while getting out of bed or standing from the couch? If you have, I want you to do one thing. Type the word wobble in the comments right now. Because once you notice the sign, that's the moment everything can start to change. Carol never expected it would happen so fast. She had just retired at 68. No more long work days, no more rushing around. She was excited to finally relax. At first, it felt well-earned. She watched her favorite shows, spent hours reading, and lounged around the house. It was peaceful. But within a few months, something shifted. She noticed her legs felt stiff after sitting. Standing up from the couch took effort. Her knees felt shaky. She brushed it off as nothing serious. Then one afternoon, she bent down to pick something up and couldn't get back up without grabbing a chair. That's when it hit her. Relaxing had slowly turned into weakening, and no one had warned her about it. Here's the truth most people never hear. Sitting too long is one of the most dangerous habits for your legs after 60. And it doesn't matter if you exercise for 30 minutes a day. If you're sitting for the other 15 hours, your muscles are still breaking down. When we sit too long, our body starts to shut systems down. Blood flow slows. Muscles stop firing. Posture collapses. Even your glutes, those strong, stabilizing muscles in your hips, actually start to forget how to work. It's called gluteal amnesia. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. Your body gets used to not moving, The muscles that used to hold you up start to shrink. The ones that help you stand, balance, and climb stairs, they weaken without ever warning you. Until one day, something simple, like standing up, feels like climbing a mountain. But here's what's even more dangerous. Sitting doesn't just weaken your legs. It weakens your confidence. You begin to move less, go out less, try less. And that's when independence quietly begins to fade. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can interrupt the decline right now with one simple change: movement. Every 30 minutes, stand up, walk to the kitchen, stretch your arms, march in place, do 5 chair squats. Anything that tells your legs, I still need you. Make it a rule. Set a timer if you have to, because every time you stand, you're not just using your muscles, you're saving them. So let me ask you something. How many hours a day do you think you sit? Be honest. And then ask yourself this: can I cut that number in half? If you're with me, if you're ready to take a stand, literally, type your number in the comments right now, because awareness is power. And your legs, they're still listening. Victor was doing everything right. At least that's what he thought. He was 74, took his calcium every morning, ate lean protein, even went for regular walks. He followed the advice, checked all the boxes. But every night, the same thing happened. Leg cramps. Not little twinges, real painful spasms that jolted him awake like a shock. His calves locked up, his feet twisted. He'd grab at the sheets trying to breathe through it. His doctor told him it was part of aging, but something didn't sit right with him. So he started digging. And what he found changed everything. Victor wasn't missing calcium. He wasn't missing protein. He was missing something most people never think about: magnesium. That was the key. You see, magnesium is what your muscles use to relax. It's the nutrient that calms the nerves, soothes tension, and keeps everything firing smoothly. Without it, your muscles cramp, your nerves misfire, and your sleep falls apart. Magnesium is like the oil in the machine, and when it runs low, everything starts to grind. That heavy leg feeling at the end of the day, that stubborn stiffness in your calves, the twitching, the restlessness, the exhaustion, those are all classic signs your body is screaming for magnesium. And here's the kicker. Most people over 60 are magnesium deficient, and they don't even know it. Why? Because our modern diets strip it away, because certain medications flush it out, because as we age, we just don't absorb it as well. But once Victor started adding magnesium-rich foods into his day, things started to change. He added pumpkin seeds to his breakfast, a handful of almonds in the afternoon, a little spinach in his dinner, and on the toughest nights, a simple magnesium supplement before bed. The cramps disappeared, his sleep deepened, and for the first time in years, he woke up feeling rested and strong. So I want you to think, have your legs ever cramped at night? Do they feel heavy or restless when you lie down? Because if they do, magnesium might be the piece you're missing. Here are 3 ways to get more of it. 1. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale. 2. Seeds and nuts, especially pumpkin seeds, almonds, and cashews. 3. High-quality magnesium glycinate supplements taken in the evening for better absorption and relaxation. But more important than any of that, I want you to stop thinking it's just aging, because sometimes it's just a missing mineral. If you've ever tried magnesium before, I want to know. Comment mag yes if you use it, or mag no if you never have. Let's start a conversation, because you never know who might read your comment and finally find the answer they've been searching for. Barbara always thought she was doing enough. She walked every morning, around the block, just like the doctor said. She stayed active, stayed moving. So when her legs started to feel weak, she was confused. Simple things like climbing the stairs left her out of breath. Getting out of a low chair took effort. Her balance didn't feel right anymore. I don't understand, she told her daughter. I walk every day. That's when her daughter looked at her and gently said, Mom, walking isn't the problem. It's the only thing you're doing. And that's the truth most people never hear. Walking is good. It maintains what you already have. But if you want to keep your strength or get it back, Walking alone isn't enough. You need resistance. Your legs are made of the largest, strongest muscles in your body. But after 60, they naturally start to shrink, unless you give them a reason not to. It's called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and it's not optional. If you don't use your strength, you lose it. That means squatting. That means pushing. That means activating muscles in ways that walking simply doesn't. The good news? You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need the right movements. Here are 3 things you can start today. 1. Sit to stand squats. Use a chair. Sit down, then stand up 5 times in a row. 2. Step-ups. Find a single stair. Step up and down 10 times on each leg. 3. Resistance bands. Wrap them around your legs and do gentle side steps across the room. These movements challenge the quads, hamstrings, glutes, the muscles that hold you up when life tries to knock you down. And if it feels hard, good. That means you're rebuilding. Barbara started doing just 5 chair squats a day. The first week, her legs trembled. By week 3, she was doing 10. By week 6, she climbed her front steps without using the railing. She wasn't just walking anymore. She was getting stronger. So now I want to ask you something. Can you do a full squat without using your hands? Be honest with yourself and be brave enough to write it in the comments. Type, "Yes, I can," if you can, or "Not yet" if you're working on it. Because no matter where you are today, you can get stronger tomorrow. George had always been independent. He drove himself to appointments, cooked his own meals, took care of his house. He wasn't the type to ask for help. Never had been. But one night, everything changed. He got up to use the bathroom. It was dark. He was tired, and his foot caught the edge of a rug. He fell hard, bruised ribs, shaken pride, but no major injuries. Physically, he healed within a few weeks. But mentally, that fall stayed with him. He started walking slower, holding onto walls, skipping errands he used to enjoy, stopped going out in the rain, just in case. Little by little, the fear took hold. And what no one told him, what most people don't realize, is that fear after a fall can be even more dangerous than the fall itself. Because fear changes everything. It makes you second-guess every step. It keeps you from moving. And when you stop moving, your muscles shrink. Your balance weakens. Your confidence fades. Fear becomes a prison, and it's one so many people quietly live inside. But here's what George didn't know back then. Avoidance doesn't protect you. It weakens you. The real path forward is movement. Safe movement. Supported movement. But movement all the same, because the best way to fight the fear of falling is to rebuild the strength to stand tall again. George's turning point came when his granddaughter visited. She found him sitting at the table, staring at the floor. He told her he just didn't feel steady anymore, that he was scared. She reached out her hand and said, "Then let's start slow." They began with simple things, marching in place by the kitchen counter, walking with a cane in the backyard, doing gentle stretches with music playing in the background. Week by week, George began to feel different, stronger, braver, and most importantly, more like himself again. He didn't erase the fear overnight, but he stopped letting it win. And now I want to ask you something. Have you ever held back because of fear? Maybe after a fall, or after just feeling unsteady. If that's you, don't be ashamed. You're not alone. But today, I want you to make a choice. If you're done letting fear freeze you in place, if you're ready to move forward, even one step at a time, then type these words in the comments right now. I refuse to freeze, because the second you say it, your comeback begins. Helen had always been tough. She'd raised 3 kids, worked on her feet for years, and barely complained through it all. But by the time she hit 76, her knees were giving her trouble. Every step down the stairs sent a jolt of pain through her joints. So she did what most people do. She reached for pain pills. At first it helped. Ibuprofen in the morning, acetaminophen at night. She kept going, kept pushing, kept ignoring what her body was really trying to say. But the pills didn't fix anything. And after a few months, she began to feel it. A dull ache in her stomach, nausea after meals. One day, her doctor told her the truth. The lining of her stomach was wearing thin. Years of over-the-counter painkillers had taken their toll. That's when it finally hit her. She wasn't treating the pain, she was burying it. And the root cause? It was never the pain. It was the inflammation, the weakness, the muscle imbalance, all the things that pills don't fix. Here's the hard truth no one tells you. Pain pills mask the signal, but they don't solve the problem. And sometimes while you're numbing the pain, the real issue is getting worse underneath. Joint pain, especially in the knees, hips, and ankles, is often a warning sign. It's your body saying, something's off, something's breaking down, please pay attention. And more often than not, the solution starts with strength. When the muscles around your joints are weak, your joints take the load. When you're dehydrated, those joints dry out. When you're missing nutrients like omega-3s, vitamin C, or collagen, your body can't repair itself. But when you shift your focus to healing instead of hiding, that's when the transformation begins. Helen did exactly that. She started adding turmeric and ginger to her meals, took a high-quality fish oil, began doing gentle stretches every morning. And yes, she moved, slowly at first, but with intention. 3 months later, she wasn't pain-free, but she was off the pills. And for the first time in years, she felt like she had control again. So let me ask you something. Are you using pills to manage pain? Or are you actively working to fix what's causing it? What's your go-to for joint pain? I want you to share it in the comments. Maybe it's something natural. Maybe it's something you're still figuring out. But someone out there might need to hear what's worked for you. Type your fix and then tell us, because sharing your story could be someone else's first step toward healing. Larry had always been the strong one. In his family, he was the one who fixed things, the one everyone called for help, the one who always said, "I've got it." Even at 81, he still tried to live the same way. So when he fell, not once, but twice, in the same month, he didn't tell anyone. He bruised his ribs the first time, scraped his elbow the second. But the worst part wasn't the injuries. It was the fear he tried to hide, the shame, the voice in his head that said, "If I ask for help, I'll lose my independence." So he kept pretending. He refused a walker, said no to physical therapy, didn't tell his doctor the full truth, until one day he almost didn't get back up. Here's what Larry didn't know, and what so many people need to hear. Asking for help is not weakness, it's wisdom. Because every day you avoid the support you need, you give up a little more of the strength you still have. You delay healing. You miss out on tools that could keep you moving. You try to protect your pride and end up losing your progress. Whether it's a cane, a walker, a rail in the bathroom, or simply saying, "Yes, I need help with this." None of these things define who you are. They don't take away your independence. They protect it. Larry eventually had a turning point. His grandson came to visit and saw how slow he was moving, how winded he got, how often he gripped the walls when walking from room to room. And instead of calling him out, the boy just said, "Grandpa, it's okay to lean on something. You've carried us all for years." That moment broke something open. Larry agreed to see a physical therapist, got fitted for a walker that helped him move with more confidence. And slowly, the man who used to fix everything started fixing himself. So now I want to ask you something. Is there something you know would help you, but you've been avoiding it? A device, a habit, a treatment, a truth? Say it out loud. Write it in the comments. Let it breathe. Because the moment you name it is the moment you start owning it. Type the thing you've been putting off. Be honest. Be brave. Because asking for help is not the end of independence. It's the beginning of something better. You were never meant to grow weak with age. Your legs were built to carry you, not just across rooms or upstairs, but into your future. The truth is, strength doesn't disappear overnight. It slips away, only when we stop reaching for it. But it's still there, waiting, under the surface. In every step you choose to take, in every habit you choose to change, in every story, like Margaret's or Harold's or maybe even yours, where someone says, "I'm not done yet." So don't wait for the next fall. Don't wait for the next wobble. Don't wait for someone else to notice. Stand up, even if it's just in spirit, and take back what's yours. Your balance, your strength, your freedom. And if this spoke to you, if it stirred something inside, then I want you to write 3 words in the comments right now. Still, standing, strong, because sometimes those words are where the comeback begins.